Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the show, Lead Like a CEO, and happy Wednesday. Come on in, come on in, coming in, come on in. I am a minute early, but I want to make sure that I am not late. But as you all come in, please say hello. Let me know where you're joining me from. Also, let me know that you can actually hear me. Okay, I know you can see me, but please let me know if you can hear me, because I want to make sure that I am not only just speaking to myself, but I'm speaking to you as well. Okay? Because it would really suck if I'm doing this for the next 18 minutes and then you cannot hear me. So, as you all come in, please let me know that you are here and we will get started. Okay? All right. So while I'm waiting for people to let me know they can hear me, come on in. So I'm Shevvy. If you're new to my space, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me adjust my camera very quickly. All right. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 ways to pretty much operate in your higher brain instead of your lower brain. So if you don't know, I have a neuroscience background when I went through the Optimize Institute, which is founded by the CEO, Shantae Javon Taylor, so the Optimize Institute. But before I get into today's topic, I want to share a little bit about me, my story, and my why. Okay. And I hope that you can hear me, honestly. But I'm here on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So, I feel like every time I go live, it's like I got a burp. But you can join me on my YouTube channel as well. But welcome to the show, y'all. Welcome to Lead Like a CEO. I'm your host, Shevvy, and I'm excited to be here to share with you my insight when it comes to leadership, team development, and business operations. So you, as a business owner or an organization, can really focus on making the big impact and working on the things that you want to focus on more. Okay, because you have your team that is optimized and your operations streamlined. All right. So I'm a retired Air Force veteran after 22 plus years of serving the United States Air Force. And after I transitioned as of last year, even before I launched my business. And now I really focus on mission-driven businesses and organizations to optimize their leadership, team development, and business operations. So I'm your leadership and business operation consultant. Okay. And I hope that you all can hear me, but I'm going to continue to do this live. So today I'm going to share with you the 3 ways to operate in your higher brain instead of your lower brain. And the reason I am really focused on mission-driven businesses, supporting mission-driven businesses and organization, is the fact that me transitioning from Guyana at the age of 9, going on 10, growing up in a 1-bedroom home with 8 kids at 7 other siblings and my mom and dad, and then transitioning here to the United States, living with my aunt and, in the basement with family until we got our house. And then just my mom, and her story and her journey from entrepreneurship, which is her entire pretty much life journey until she came to the US. And then she took a course and became a certified home health aide, where she was able to provide care to individuals in their homes. And she did that for over 10 years. And she loved it. So very mission focused, mission driven work. She's always been like that, even as an entrepreneur, selling and giving back and feeding, young kids. And for me, I just, want to continue that legacy. And even for myself, I've always been in that frame of mind of service and doing it as well too. From my 22 years in the military, my role encompasses, working in mortuary, working in food service, working in lodging, working in fitness, hosting events, being an educator, facilitating, coaching. So always pouring into others. And that's always been my thing. Even as a kid, I wanted to be a teacher. My first summer job as a kid, I worked at a daycare center, then a summer camp the next year. So for me, it's always been the development of others. I wanted to be a pediatrician. I wanted to be a social worker. So for me, it's just me coming back into the fold of exactly where I know I thrive, which is really impacting the lives and minds of others, and educating them. So that is why I am really focused on serving mission driven businesses and organization. Okay, so that is it. So let's get into this. And again, as you all come in, say hello, let me know where you're joining me from, and let me know how you're feeling today. Okay, I'm going to grab some water very quickly. And I think when I'm done here, I got to go pick up my dog Bella because PetSmart, I just got a missed call from them. So that means I got to wrap it up. So, friend, today I am sharing with you 3 ways how you can begin to, if you're not, begin to start operating using your higher brain instead of your lower brain. And the reason I'm talking about this because so often as business owners, we are juggling multiple things. And if you have been in business for a while, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, welcome, S. Maxwell. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here because I was talking and sharing. And I'm like, I hope people, when they do come in, they can hear me. So if you can hear me, drop a yes in the chat. And also let me know how you're feeling today because it is hum day. It is the middle of the week. How is life for you? As you, yeah. So as I was saying, so when it comes to running a business, whether you're in healthcare, home care, whatever business you're in, because what I'm going to share is not just for home care agency founders or mission-driven business owners. It's for anyone who is operating a business. And one thing I like to say, you don't have to be the CEO to lead like a CEO. Okay. Um, so when we are, okay, perfect. You can hear me. Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah. So when we are operating in that high capacity, especially in the leadership position, because running the business, you are the leader for your business. And sometimes you may not want to be, but you have to be because who else is going to run the business for you unless you bring someone in who is trained and qualified to run your business as if he or she is a CEO, which is something that I help you with. But when we are consistently doing multiple things, we are, the hiring, building the business, building the family. I have, 3 kids, the youngest being 3, and she started school today. She's a kindergartner, y'all. And then my, oldest just turned 19 yesterday. So I understand the challenges that comes with trying to maintain a career, run a business, and family and your personal life. But what happens as we continue to just go and go and just push ourselves to the point of where we are burnt out, we are exhausted, we end up operating in the lower part of our brain, which is at the back of your brain stem, where we are really focused on the fear brain. So, oh, 5. Y'all, she's not 3. Thank you for thank you for sharing. Thank you for you see, this is that brain, y'all. I'm getting older. I'm still young, but I'm getting older. Yeah. So my daughter, I don't know why I said 3. She is 5. Okay, I have 3 kids. I'm in 3 kids, and I have a 5-year-old that started school. Yes. Not 3. I'm not trying to go back. We're only going forward with the ages with the kids. Because yeah, no more. So as I was saying, we're wearing so many different hats every single day, and we get to the point where we are mentally exhausted. And when we are operating in the lower brain, because I'm going to get to the higher brain, how we're going to, what you need to do to start getting to that point. But you might be experiencing this right now. And this is just these are signs and indication that you are currently operating in your lower brain. And you're not alone, friend, because trust me, your girl, I've been there, okay? Because I'm telling you, after serving 22 years in the military, resilient, stress, happiness, camaraderie, all the things. But there were times when I was operating in the lower brain. There were times when I was dealing with anxiety. There were times where I had bosses and leaders who were operating in the lower brain. And if you're operating in the lower brain, these are things that you might be doing. Okay, let me get to my notes. One, you are in reactive mode. Like you are reacting like consistently. It's like everything is on fire. And trust me, I've been there. Okay. So think about your current situation in your business and really look at an overall picture of how you are showing up right now in your business. Do you feel the pressure of, oh my goodness, I have to show up and do all the things, even mentally and emotionally, you know that you don't have the capacity to do so. Okay. And everything is like fire. Everything is firing. Everything is firing. Everything is, you have to put out the fire now because this is happening. That is happening. Team is not doing what they're supposed to do. You're getting calls late at night. You're up at night. Again, what is keeping you up at night? And let me know in the chat, what is keeping you up at night as you are operating in this lower brain? Because right now you don't have the mental energy to give your full self to your business, to your family, and even to yourself. So one, you're consistently just reacting. Two, you might be suffering from anxiety. I know for me, when I was operating in that lower brain, it was due to the surmount of stress that I was under as a new mom for the second time, as a graduate student, as a wife at the time, as a full-time military member. So all of the things that I was dealing with just kind of came crashing down, which led to vertigo, which led to hospitalization, which led to anxiety. So as I'm sharing, do know, like, when we're operating in this frame of mind, that fear, that lower brain, then these are things that might happen to you because they happened to me. So I'm just sharing with you what, if you're not already experiencing these things, do know these are just like steps together that's going to happen. That's going to be like, phew. So really look at your situation. And also, if you are constantly feeling fearful, okay, you have that fearful mindset, that things is not going how things should. You're doubting yourself. You're consistently in your head, and you're questioning your ability to make effective decisions. Because when I was going through my lower brain, when I was going through my process of where I was operating in the lower brain, like literally I was like on alert, like somebody was out to get me. Like everything was just like zooming in, and I'm just like, and when I say like anxiety was like at 1,000, it was at 1,000. So really look at, because all of this impact how you respond and whether or not you're operating in their higher brain, which is your prefrontal cortex, which is your CEO brain, or your fear brain. Right now, I'm mentally keeping up to date with the constant industry trends in my field. So I love that. So being aware of what's going on. So thank you for sharing that. As Maxwell, thank you for joining in. So that is what you're going to experience if you're operating in the lower brain. Now, let's talk about, before I talk about operating in the higher brain, let me share some information with you. So, did you know that your brain has 100 billion brain cells that connects to each other? Did you hear me? 100 billion brain cells. So imagine if you're consistently operating in the lower brain, what is that? What messages are being sent throughout your brain? Not good, negative, stress, overwhelm. So we want to make sure that when we are operating as CEOs, as leaders in our businesses, and not only your business, like really think about your 360. That's, your life, your environment, your community, your business, because it's not just only about the business, okay? But if you are able to, so think of this, and I like with the higher brain and the lower brain, is honestly, it's emotional regulations. This is what this is in simple terms, is really looking at, am I regulating myself as the leader, as the boss, as the CEO, as the wife, as the husband? Um, yes. So definitely when it comes to our higher brain, this is where we want to make sure that we are consistently operating in all the time. And trust me, it's not going to be like this all the time, because life happens. We're going to be stressed. The team is not performing how they're supposed to perform, then we may react. But it is very important for you as a CEO to try to be in this space as much as you can, because it all goes back to emotional regulation. So when you're operating in the higher brain, I'm going to share three things, but also I'm going to share some additional things. One is that you are conscious about how you react to things. So, for example, if things are challenging right now, you're not flying off the handle. You're not cussing people out. You're not yelling, screaming, doing all the things. You're able to observe. You're able to pause before reacting. Okay. Because sometimes as CEOs, we are so overwhelmed that we don't have the ability to pause before we go flying off the handle. Okay. So it goes back to, are you being self aware of how you are reacting to the challenges that you are facing currently in your business? Like I said, think of emotional regulation. How are you self managing yourself and how you respond? Because how you respond lets you know that, hey, you're not using your executive brain to make decisions and to respond to challenging situations. Because in the military, there were some challenging situations, high stress environment, deploy environment where you're getting bombed and mortars and all the things are coming down, but you still have to react without reacting crazy. Okay. Reacting on the control. So as you're navigating your business, I want you to think of currently in your business, what are some challenges that are happening right now, and how are you responding to those challenges? Is it causing more stress on you? Is it causing more stress on your team? Because how you respond to these challenges impacts how your team responds to taking care of those challenges and responding to you. All right, so that's number one, being conscious about how you react when it comes to challenges. Also, another aspect of operating in the higher brain is to show up more authentically. Yes, showing up more authentically takes less energy from you to be your natural self. Okay, so if you are showing up pretending to be this bad A CEO, this CEO who is friendly, this CEO is just like to have fun, you're not that type. Let's be real, because you're going to use up too much mental energy trying to pretend to be someone that you're not. So when you're able to show up authentically, now you're able to make genuine connection between you and your team. Your team sees for you and not someone that you're trying to pretend. They're able to come to you because they trust you, because you're showing up as your true self. And again, because you are showing up as your authentic self, you're going to make the best decisions for yourself, the team, and your business. Okay. So that is number two. And number three is to take mental breaks. That's right. So you want to take mental breaks to reassess your emotions before reacting, which is going to help you to um, have more mental focus to be a more effective CEO. Because again, I've experienced leaders who I worked for who did not take mental breaks. As soon as something happened, it was like a response, a trigger, and that impacted the entire organization. So, for you as a CEO who's running a multi-million dollar business, who has a team, who's been in business for 3+ years, it is very important for you to make sure that you are taking mental breaks. And mental breaks can be, okay, before I react, let me go for a walk. Oh, excuse me. And let me work out before I come into this job. Making time for you as a CEO, because all of what I'm sharing is not just to operate in the lower brain, is really to operate and taking care of yourself mentally so that you can operate more effectively and efficiently in your executive functioning brain situation. Okay, so that's number three. And then the last thing that I want to share is to apply mindfulness into your day if you can. Okay, so when you apply mindfulness, you are able to be more present in the moment. You're non-judgmental. That means that self-talk, you're able to control it. So instead of going deep, and trust me, I understand. Sometimes we have those self-talks where we're talking crazy to ourselves and we have to snap out of it and be like, not today. Okay. Not today. I have to tell myself, like, not today, man. We're not doing that. Same thing for you as a CEO, because when things are rough, when things are challenging, when our team members are not performing, when we feel like everything is just not working in our favor, we are ready to get into that deep realm of negative thoughts. And we cannot do that. When we are more mindful, we are able to look at what we are grateful for more. We are able to be more present with ourselves and non judgmental. Okay. And by being more mindful and applying this into your daily activities in life and business, you are, ooh, whoa, moving a little too fast. It really helps with your sensory awareness, your body awareness, because you can definitely feel like, okay, what's around you, how you're feeling. Is your body tense? Is it, aching? Are you, in pain? Are you, lacking sleep? So there's, again, being really in tune with what's going on and not just being so focused on what is not um, going right in your business and life. And also, by being mindful, you are also going to be able to bring that social awareness piece that sometimes we lose because we're so in our businesses that we don't have time for that as well too. So when it comes to really operating in the higher brain, it's really about showing up as your authentic self, being present, and making decision based on the prefrontal cortex, the executive functioning, instead of focusing on the things that are not happening and reacting to the things that are not going the way we would love for it to go to, or to go as. So today it was just sharing with you, and I want to bring more of this teaching into my live, the neuroscience aspect, because I do have a certification in that space. And as a lover of educating and training and development of people, I say, why not bring this more to the forefront? So you're going to be seeing more of this. And if you found this to be insightful or just kind of gave you that aha, like, damn, I need to be doing a little bit more of the things that Shevvy just shared, where I can operate more in that higher brain, which is really getting you back into that emotional regulations. Because I know life happens. I have young ones. Trust me, some days I'm like, Lord, keep me sane with these kids. Keep me sane while I'm trying to run the business. So I definitely understand, especially as a mom. Okay, they come for us for everything. But no, so friend, thank you for joining me today. Let me know if there are any questions. Hashtag replay, by all means. And like I said, let me know, how are you operating in a higher brain? How are you operating with a higher brain instead of the lower brain? Drop that in the chat. And also join me on my YouTube channel at Lead Like a CEO. Well, thank you all for joining on the show, and I will see you all next Wednesday. And thank you, S. Maxwell, for joining me. Appreciate you being here.